Today is May 14th, 2020. I hope you guys are doing well. The birds are singing. I think we're supposed to be getting some rain here in about an hour. But I'm going to do a quick garden update. I'm out in the back. I'm kind of in the secret garden, I guess. I've been doing a little bit of work out here, a little bit of chainsawing, a little bit of mat axing, digging up roots and stuff. So I thought I would start in the back. First, the quick pandemic update. France, I understand, has a 7,000 increase in the use of hydroxychloroquine. As you can see, I've made a little bit of progress here. I've cut these bushes back, and I've also dug. Oh, here, you see all that mess. I had mulched, chipped most of everything that was there. This is all pretty much new. So this is what I've thrown over just today. But look, the squashes made it through the freeze. Now, last week we had 3 days. I thought it was going to be 4, but it turned out to be 3 days where I was real concerned. I covered everything. And all of my squash and butternut squash and yellow squash and zucchini made it. They all survived. And so this is what they're looking like. And so here, these bushes, the stumps, you can see the stumps. So last year I had some other stumps over here, a whole bunch, and I dug those out by hand. And what I need to do is dig these stumps out. That way I'll never face these bushes again. And there's some, in fact, all of these bushes here, I cut them down, but I haven't ripped them out. And you can see the vines are going up into the trees. And this is a kind of not a terrible case of vines. I mean, it's bad, but I'm talking about in other years it's been worse, because I was working out here last year, and you can see over there that tree, half of those vines are dead, half of them are alive. So Lord willing, I'll get over there and work on that, and we'll see. Maybe we'll push back those bushes too. Right now I just need to get this out of the way. So, and some of the vines, you see this vine right here on the ground? Can you see that? I had dug that out. Every place where it touches. Do you see where that one's touching? See how? So that vine, and if you dig into the ground, you'll find that thickness of vine underground. There'll be another layer of vines underneath the ground that thick. It's like the deep state here in America. The hidden deep state is just as strong as the above ground deep state. That's how come I tilled over here, because I was breaking up those vines, and I had dug out a lot last year. But even so, you can see the vines still. But anyway, so that's enough of talking about this, I guess. Now I have one pumpkin planted out already, and it's survived, and actually it's putting on a little bit of bulk. Can you see that? So when it gets, in fact, today's pretty warm, and I think we're not going to have any more really cold frosts or anything like that. In fact, today's getting on the humid and hot side. But that pumpkin could spread out, could easily go over to that fence and over it. So pumpkin vines are, well, aggressive. And if you notice, I did take out that little tree there, and that was a Osage orange. It's a beautiful color. That's what they used to make their bow. The Osage Indians would make their bows out of the Osage orange. But it's thorny. Oh boy, the thorns are not nice. So anyway, so we'll see. Maybe we'll push this back, clean that up. I'd love to clean it up all the way through there, but I don't think, well, who knows? I doubt if I plant anything. And maybe that area You know, I'll have to talk to some other people, but maybe we'll plant trees over there. You know, these thorns, I laid them all out here, but you see how big those stones are? They're about, what, 3/4 inch, at least some of those, but they like to grab a hold of you. So a couple of days ago I was working over on this side of the backyard. I was digging out poison ivy on both my side and my neighbor's side. And then I came out, I guess yesterday, and I threw some seeds in here, old seeds. So, you know, from like 2017 and stuff. So, but they were leeks. And leeks are usually only good for about a year. You know, onion seeds don't keep. So, I don't know if I'll get any results, but I threw down some leeks because this ground here is a waterway at times, so there can be standing water here. If it, you know, if we get two inches of rain or something, an inch of rain, this will puddle a little bit. So leeks I threw down, and then I also threw down some dill. So, and it was older dill seed, but anyway, so I may end up with a whole bunch of giant dill in here. So that'll be something if that happens. So leeks and dill, and I could come and throw out some mustard seed. But like I say, really I was kind of trying to maybe plant some grapevines in here. And what is, now this one here, you see that one with the 5 leaves? That's a Virginia creeper. That is not poison ivy. That's actually an okay vine in terms of it's not gonna make you break out or anything, but it does like to go everywhere. But that's a Virginia creeper, it's not poison ivy, even though it kind of looks like it, but it has 5 leaves. Oh, can you guys see that? Oh, so did you see the lizard? Anyway, out in the sun, I scared him off. And then earlier I did see a very big over there in the weeds, a very big garden snake slithering underneath the vines, through the vines. You know, there's a carpet of vines in there that I was showing you. It looks like it may have started to flower. So that one hasn't flowered yet. So this one's flowered, and then from the flowers we'll get the grapes, I understand. So, not a lot. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. And now look at this vine. I mean, look at those leaves. What's crazy is that I have other vines that with those leaves, which I think are the wild vines. So it always throws me for a loop. So I did cover the watermelon. Now I haven't watered it today. It's supposed to rain, but if it doesn't rain, I should water these guys. Look at that. But they survived the cold weather, and now we got heat. The potato is doing okay, and all of these melons that I planted, all of these guys survived. In fact, I think it's now warm enough I can plant out other melons. I'll plant some on this side and over there. I'll fill this out. I have a ton that need to get planted out. And the cucumbers, and then the peppers. In fact, I've got 2 little bell peppers. Can you see them? Coming on. So this is the earliest I've ever had peppers. And oh, this one over here. Look at that guy. Can you see that? Some nice peppers, 3 of them. Those aren't bell, I don't think. And then the cucumbers. So even those 2 little cucumbers out over there that I planted survived. Now, with this warmer weather, and if it rains, we may really get a uptake. That's the mint. So there's not really that much at the moment planted in the backyard. So here we are in the front yard. You can see the garlic is looking tall. I'm a little surprised at this. I guess I need to research that. Because I didn't know garlic. I didn't know garlic did this. Or my. So this one I've let go to flower, or it will be. So anyway, I'm pretty sure that's garlic. And I probably need to cut these off, the other ones. I'm going to let one of them go for sure. But the other ones I should cut off to put the energy, they say, down into the bulb. So this is what everything's looking like. You can see the potato made it through. It also made it through the cold. I don't see any shriveled leaves. So it's nice that it made it to the top of the, that's a very tall thing, container. Now some of the, I think some of that in there is okra. I hope it makes it. It looks pretty pathetic. But the corn, now half of the corn seems to have come up. So that's interesting. I must have had some old seed over there because I don't see, but over here, and the way it's coming up, it looks like it may be near one of those corn cobs. I mean, it's all bunched in one spot. So interesting. So in a few days, I'm going to dig these up and transplant the corn. So the peas are coming on. I saw some flowers. Look at that. That means I'll have peas soon. Because of course the pods come from where the flowers are. So here we have peas. Now somehow I've got some of my butter crunch lettuce seeds scattered in here, that's fantastic. That's my favorite lettuce. But then you can see the pole beans, most of them did not come up. Now things are looking pretty dry. I thought it was actually going to rain some last night. It may have, but not much. Now these pole beans are doing pretty good. These are the first planting that you see. The second planting hasn't come up yet. I've been taking up some kale. The kale is very beautiful this year. Potatoes are looking awesome. Look at these guys. Brussels sprouts and cauliflower. And look at that dill. Look how beautiful that dill is. Again, it looks like the okra, some of it has sprouted, but look at the leaves. It makes you wonder if they're gonna live. And then look at that walnut tree. I find them all over the place. Half of the corn, or maybe a little over half the corn is doing okay. So if that all comes up, that'll be very nice. And of course the tomatoes have had a hard time of it. I mean, I covered them with the bags and stuff, and so we'll see. Oh, this guy. I need to get him back in here. There. If I don't do that, he'll be caught, sideways. So, we'll see how these tomatoes do. They need to be watered. I think the Lord's going to water them, so I haven't done that today or even yesterday. Look at that. There's some nice big tomatoes. I mean, we'll see how they do. But you can see that a lot of these tomatoes have had a hard time of it. But look, more peas come up. These are from the second planting. So I've got peas on the inside and outside now. And then over here, these peas came up initially, and you can see they're blossoming. So that's great. I'll have staggered peas, it looks like. So in between, right next to the fence, I have peas, and then I have tomato plant. This one here, I don't know if that's. The trouble is look how big that leaf is. That is something else. We'll find out. I mean, I'm going to let it go this year for sure. Peach tree. Now I've been eating a lot of the mustard, so I have pulled a few of the plants and just ate the whole plant except for the bottom piece. And so that's what I'm doing with the mustard here, is just every day or so I pick up, just pull one. And they're nice plants. They're very good eating. And I just microwave them a few minutes. So peas and potatoes. So that's how things are looking. Now these are actual leeks here. This first I had planted some leek seeds, and now these are the leeks, these few, and then these are collard greens in here. They're doing okay. And these other plants don't seem to be making it, but they're called, what are they called? Chards. They're a type of chard, which I don't really know what that is. But anyway, I've got the seed, and I think those over there may be leeks. Either that or they're garlic, but look at them. I guess when I dig them up, I'll know. So, but I planted garlic everywhere, so it's probably garlic. Okay, now the last to show you, of course, the mint's doing great. I have been eating mint daily, and I love it in my tea and things. It's supposed to be very healthy for you. I cut back on this thyme bush, and I'm drying all that thyme, a whole bunch of thyme inside. And then, of course, that one was already cut back. So I did dig up some of those volunteer tomatoes. They're up over there, at least 20, 25 or so. Can you see them? And then I have just all kinds. I have some early silver melons right there and some peppers. And so I actually got a whole bunch of peppers, bell peppers, orange and yellow. And then I've got some watermelon in here, and I got some squash actually. In fact, I don't know what possessed me, but I planted another 3 bowls of butternut squash, and that seed is so virulent, so strong. It's already popping. I planted it on the 3rd, and today is the 14th, so 10 days. So if anybody close by needs a butternut squash plant, not only do I have about 15 coming up right here, I have another 5 that I potted up 2 days ago. Yeah, I think 2 days. Right. Well, some of these are butternut squash. Some are cucumbers. Yeah, that's a butternut squash. So we'll see what happens. Okay, that's the greenhouse. Oh, and look, all these cucumbers. These are purplose cucumbers. And oh, here I got to go. Okay, well, that's pretty much in the... So here we are in the greenhouse. These are, I'm calling these front yard flowers. I have the name somewhere, but these are seeds I collected from my flowers. They're beautiful flowers. I just put a whole bunch of them in this container, and you can see I had punched holes in the bottom with a hot screwdriver. So just a few inches of dirt, compost. And these are peppers, orange bell peppers. So I don't know what I'm going to do with all these peppers. But I need to pot. I mean, these are ready to be potted up, but I don't really need them. I had a little experiment I was going to show you. Here it is. Here. Now, I'm trying to see if I can get some wild rice to grow in here. But that plant that's popped, that is not rice. Looks like a watermelon that's come up, maybe a butternut squash. But anyway, I've got some wild rice in there. I've kept the soil fairly damp. But it's been 10 days, still nothing popping. or 9 days. And then this other one is basil, a little container of basil, and that's been 9 days. It says Sumter cucumbers. So other cucumbers coming up. So I've got a number of cucumbers. These are all cucumbers here, and I burpless and Boston pickling. So those are 4-inch cucumbers. And then I had these cucumbers I potted up yesterday. No, that's butternut squash. Slicer, that's a slicer cucumber. And I had some 4-inch cucumbers. So I got a number of cucumbers. You know, I didn't know they were going to make it, and I kept planting seeds. So I guess I can stop planting cucumber seeds. And I have other seeds down there that I planted just a couple days ago. What was that? I'd have to go closer. Oh, cantaloupe. I planted cantaloupe, and I planted 3 pumpkins somewhere, and pumpkin seed. And I don't really like pumpkin, but I planted the seeds here. Oh, look at this. These guys are in desperate need of potting up. These are watermelon, either potting up or planting out. Black diamond watermelon. So I've got lots of watermelon I can plant out. I even got enough to give away. What is this? Oh, look at that guy. He's desperate. That's definitely a black, black diamond watermelon. Oh man, that is looking so beautiful. So with that other one I had planted out, hardly grew at all. This one that I left in the greenhouse, look at him shoot up. And there's another one over. And now that it's warmer, I'm going to plant these out. Maybe not, we'll see if I do it today, but look at that. That's going to be fun. Fun. And these tomatoes I had kept, a lot of them, as possible replacement tomatoes, and also to give away. And then I mentioned, oh, I hope I don't spill this. There. I mentioned all these guys. These are volunteer tomatoes from out front. So we'll see. We'll see what to say. So I don't know who I'm going to give those to, because I may plant them way back in the back just to see what happens. I mean, I've got that extra land now, so I can always plant these guys back there. Okay, that's how the greenhouse is going. It's getting warm. Today, it's at least in the greenhouse. I think it's around 70 outside, and it's around 80 in here. I've got all the windows open to let all the wind blow through, and the shade is now over the greenhouse. If things keep this warm, I'll have to probably move most of the stuff out of the greenhouse so that they don't overheat. But I'm not there yet. So anyway, that's how things are. Love you guys. Oh, there's one other thing I want to show you inside. We'll see. Here, I'll just show you this experiment. I soaked some black rice or purple rice about 12 hours yesterday. I was watching a video on how to get wild rice started, or at least rice. Anyway, this is wild rice, purple rice. So I soaked it yesterday for about 12 hours, and then I had this old t-shirt and it said to wrap it in a cloth. Usually I'd use paper towels, but since I had this t-shirt available, it's just damp a little bit. So it's been a day. Okay, this is an experiment. See if I can get these see if I can get this wild rice to sprout. And if I do, I'll plant it up